All right. Oh, man, I just lost my voice. As soon as I was going to say it, a frog jumped in my mouth, and I went, "Ah!" Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. Joe Rosen, and as always, point the other way, Lissette Hurtado. Nice to see you, bud. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm awesome. Today, we're bringing you a topic that I hear all the time, especially with new construction. You're always getting people who want to find acreage. How do I find some acreage so I can get rid of all these people around me, right? Which makes sense. And it's nice to have that little bit of land, but how realistic it is? What kind of price points are we looking at? How many options are there? So I did a little bit of looking into the statistics. I'm going to share some stuff with you, and then Lissette, I'll turn it over to you to see what you're seeing. Here's some stats, and I'm looking at 1 acre properties. Okay, I broke this down 2 different ways. The first way is I want a house with an acre or more, and the second one is I want a vacant lot with an acre or more. So if you're looking in St Lucie County, not Port St Lucie, but the entire county, and you're looking at something with a home on it, okay? It's got at least an acre. There are 41 options. Now you're hearing that and you're like, well, Joe, that's not that bad. 41 options, that's quite a few. Okay, cool. They start at $350,000, and 6 of the 41 are $500,000 or less. So if you're trying to get into a home for $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000, you have severely limited options, okay? And I'll tell you too, the homes on these properties are, generally speaking, homes you would find in the $2 to $250 range if they were on a 1/4 acre. But because they're on an acre, there is an incredible premium on these properties. Now, I've sold in Minnesota, and I've sold down here. I've lived in Maryland, Texas, Pennsylvania, Washington. I've lived all over the place. A lot of times what I'm seeing in those areas, right, more rural areas, is there's a premium put on acreage, but that premium is maybe, for an acre versus a 1/4 acre, maybe it's an extra 20, 30, 40 grand. Here we're talking 6 figures. But the question is, are people getting it? Lissette, are you seeing a lot of sellers? Honestly, I think I've only sold 1 or 2 properties in the last year that have an acre or more. Are you seeing sellers actually getting these prices, or are these just asking prices?
Oh, I think in this market, they'll definitely get the asking price and then some. It's finding the properties that struggle. I think you could find a property a little bit over a 1/4 acre, but once you go into a 1/2 acre or more, it's definitely a challenge.
Yep.
They're very limited and few on the market.
So looking back at those homes that have an acre or more, of the 41, only 14 are in Port St. Lucie, right? So almost all of the others are in Fort Pierce. If you want acreage, you should be looking in Fort Pierce unless you're willing to pay an incredible premium for it. So now let's go over to vacant lots, right? Forget the house. We'll build the house. We'll take care of the house of ourselves. I want an acre. It can be vacant, and I want to be in St. Lucie County. Now, remember, all of these properties I'm talking about could be all different kinds of zoning. You can rezone. There's a process. It takes money. It takes time. But this is just everything with an acre or more. In St. Lucie County, there are 130 options. 31 of those options are in Port St. Lucie. They start at $120,000, okay? But the median price, and I like to tell you the median price because a lot of times what I'm seeing is, there's one at 120, but then the next one is 200, and then 400, and then it goes up really fast, right? So the median of all of those 31 properties in Port St. Lucie is $450,000. Okay, so that's the center of those properties. If you're looking at all of the 130, they start at $47,000. Now I started digging into it. I thought, man, 47 grand, that's not a bad deal. I started looking, and these were residential lots that you could build single family homes on. But until you got up to maybe that 150 range, they all had an issue to contend with. Some of them were not buildable. Some of them were buildable, but they had building restrictions. Some of them had easements or encroachments. Okay, what's an easement? What's an encroachment? An easement is, I live here, and Lissette lives behind me, but Lissette isn't touching a road. So the only way Lissette can get to her property is through an easement over my property. That's an example of an easement. I still own it, but Lissette owns rights to drive over that particular strip of land on my property. That's an easement. That makes it a little uglier. It drops the value, right? What's an encroachment? An encroachment is, okay, now Lisette's my neighbor, but she just built her garage 2 feet over onto my property. Now, maybe I never cared. Me and Lissette are buddies. we have cocktails every night in her pool that, well, we won't talk about that, every Saturday night, right? And so we're buddies, so I don't care. Lissette, build your garage 2 feet over on my lot, except when I go to sell. Now it's a problem because now everybody else says, well, I don't know Lissette. She could be crazy, man. And you know, who knows? So now you got to contend with that issue. So when you're looking in that, I'll say up to $150,000 range, you're going to see a lot of those things. If that doesn't bother you, and there's different situations for different people, you might be able to find what a lot of people would consider a bargain. So that's another thing to look at. So now, Lissette, I'm going to open it up to you, and I've got a couple different options for people. If they're saying, man, this is too restricting, I want something a little bit cheaper, there's got to be another way, Joe. Lissette, what are my options?
You do have a few options, and some of them I know, or you're probably going to touch on this as well, is going out west, looking outside of St. Lucie County, possibly looking at different areas. If you're thinking you're going to find an acre within the city of Port St. Lucie, you're very, very limited to options. So you definitely have to look at different areas. Extend your timeline. Don't be in a rush, especially if you're looking for a deal. You might be on the market a little bit longer than what you would like or expect for that right property to come up.
Yeah, those are great points. And when we say go west, I'd say at least 20, 25 minutes west, right? Stretching towards Okeechobee. You go down to Indiantown. Again, we talked about a lot of these properties that are available. I'm making this up, but probably 70, 80% of them are in Fort Pierce. If you're sticking in St. Lucie, that's the area you want to be in. Now, if you're a 7-figure buyer, yes, you can be in Port St. Lucie. You can be in, well, probably not Hutchinson Island with an acre or more, but you can be in different areas, right? But if you're trying to stay in a reasonable range for 80, 90, 95% of buyers, that's where you're going to have to go. Here's another option. Get on an auto email with a realtor. Find a realtor. Do you know a realtor? Yes, you know a realtor, man. I never know where to point on this sucker. Ask one of us. It takes us 3 minutes to set you up on an auto email with whatever criteria it is you want, whatever price range you want. And now, yes, those lots do come on with people who will sell at reasonable prices. And instantly you're going to get that email. If you can move quick, if you're ready, if you're prepared, you got all your financing, your cash, whatever it is, all set up, and you've got one of us set up to write the offer, you can have that written by noon the day you get the email, right? And that's the person who gets the lot. So if you want it, be ready, because all it takes is one person to be ready and it's gone, right? So that's another option. Here's a third option that I've seen. Every builder, well, every aggressive builder in the area is putting offers on lots all day long. If you want a vacant lot, you've gotten an offer from a builder. I guarantee it. But a lot of those offers are offers that they're good offers, but they're probably 80, 90% of market value, right? That's what I'm seeing. So if market value for a lot, let's talk about quarter acre lots in Port St. Lucie, are $80,000 is kind of where they start. You're probably going to get an offer for 60, 65, maybe 70. Because those builders have to be able to build the property, make a profit, and still sell you a house that's reasonably priced, right? If it's not reasonably priced, who's going to buy it? But if you really want that lot and you can come in at market, maybe a hair under. If you really love it, maybe a hair over. And you can pick the lot you want. Now you have almost zero competition because the only people making offers on those lots are builders. And builders are absolutely coming in low every single time. All right. So the question is, how do you do that? There are loads of different data sites that you can go to and you can get all this information, and it might cost you 20, 30, 40 bucks to get it. But my gosh, you can get loads of offers out there. And if you put enough offers out there, I've done it as an investor in a past life. That's how you do it. You put a ton of offers out and one or two get accepted. So that's another route to take. If you really want it, that's another way to get it. Lissette, do you have any golden nuggets to share with us before we take off today?
I think that's a great point. What you make is making offers on properties that are not listed. And if you're working with a realtor, many realtors would be more than open to do this. They know how to get this done. They know what resources they need to tap into to contact these people and how to get their contact information. Talk to your realtor and tell them, I want this specific area and this is what I'm looking for. And they will market that area. And eventually you come across someone that's willing to sell. And then what's left is negotiate on the price.
Yeah. Now let me give a pitch to realtors, because a lot of realtors are going to hear that and say, $150,000 lot and you want me to put in 40 offers? That's crazy. Guys, listen, you're crazy for thinking that. Because honestly, I get it, right? The commission's going to be low. I got to work so hard. I got to go find this data. That's too much. Listen, it's prospecting. Think how many people are going to say no, but I'll let you list my home for 180. I'm not going to sell it for 150, but I'll let you list it for 180. Awesome. Sign right here. Boom, done. You got a listing. Quit being lazy. Get out there and help these people sell. If that's what they want to do and your buyer doesn't work with that seller, awesome. Find them another buyer. It's your job. But get out there. This is prospecting and make it happen for your clients. Lissette, you're the best. I appreciate you joining me today. Thanks for giving all these wonderful options to people. This is what it's about. We come here every Wednesday. We want to get your mind thinking about different things in real estate. If you've got something that you're interested in getting more education on and we haven't presented it yet, bring it to us and we'd love to create a show on it. Lissette, I appreciate it. Have a great day, my friend.